Hello everyone. My name's Jake. Welcome back to another Ashes of Creation video. This one's going to be a quick one. I kind of just wanted to cover some cool things I noticed during the pre-Phase 2 test servers that came up a couple days before the Phase 2 eventually actually goes live. There's really only a couple things I want to cover, so let me just kind of list them out real quick. We'll start off talking about the Dunir and Vaelune new player races. After that, there's a couple things to touch on with UI updates. Some interesting things happened with quests, and I actually noticed a couple things regarding XP rewards, just basically rewards in general. We have the new nodes that popped up in the Sandsquall Desert, and then the big one is the Freeholds. So Freeholds are now in the game, and I was actually able to find a couple, which is really cool. There's also some new patch notes, and since I'm recording this 2 in the morning Thursday, we're not going to have Thursday's patch notes in this video, but I'll cover just a couple highlights from Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's kind of just jump into the Dunir and the Vaelune player races. I was able to create a couple of these. I really was trying to see what was possible. They might add a couple things in, features or functionality, but I kind of just am assuming, for the sake of expectations, that what I'm seeing here in the test environment is about what we're going to get in the live Phase 2 Alpha 2 servers when they come up on Friday. All in all, really happy to see the Dunir dwarves make it into the game finally. They're such chunky little units. It's actually extremely funny. Once you you can make these guys so thick. Yeah, they can be so top heavy. Their arms can be massive, and they got these tiny little legs. And when you actually launch the character and you get in the game, you really realize how small they are, especially when you spawn in Lionhold and you're kind of just surrounded by a bunch of other humans and like elves or Empyreans. They do still do the little flip jumps. That's really cool, and they look good. They look good. I still think the character creator has quite a bit of ways to go. I would really like to see it on par with, I would say, like Baldur's Gate character creator, but that's definitely down the line in the future. It's not important now, but I hope that we continue to march toward that path, because I feel like a lot of the characters can come out rather ugly if you don't really invest in the sculpting of each character. One thing that is pretty cool is we got a bunch of, not a bunch, but there's new hairstyles, some beard customization, with the male and the female Dunir. I also got to test out making a Vaelune. I didn't make a male Vaelune, but I did make a female Vaelune. They probably have the best racial like underwear in the game, so that's really cool, because the humans just look like they're literally wearing like diapers, and then the Vaelune, at least the females, have almost like some nice like Victoria's Secret style type lingerie going on. There's like a moon clasp on the back. Their character models just look really good. I think I'm gonna roll like a main cleric Vaelune, so that's exciting. I hope that the Vaelune still make it in. Otherwise, I'm gonna be a little sad, because I don't want to have to like remake the character later on. The other thing I wanted to mention is there's definitely not all the customization there. Some of the sliders didn't work. Some of the differences in secondary options didn't work as well. Templates are definitely still broken, which is really annoying, because if you make a great looking character, you still can't apply it. I hope to see that fixed in the near future. As far as some new UI updates, I didn't notice too much. But if we look at the character inventory window, you'll notice that instead of having the default kind of like generic soldier kind of graphic that we had, we now have a 3D sort of tabletop spinning model of your character. Next thing I wanted to mention is the quests. Now, I'm not really sure if this is specifically a new direction going for Phase 2, or if this was just due to the testing environment, but I did notice that like the Sweat of Your Brow, which is the very beginning quest that kind of teaches you how to do sort of like the crafting stuff, and then you get your horse from like the next step. This specific quest was giving over 3000 XP and also had like a recipe. I don't believe that the initial one gave 3000 XP, because that's well easily like a level or two. Like that'd probably take you straight to like level 3. So this is good. If this is not just the testing environment and they're not just speeding up the leveling because it's the test, then we might be seeing quests give legitimate XP and they might be totally worth our time. Next section, there's also 3 new nodes that have been placed in the Sandsquall Desert. If you've kind of seen anywhere online, some people have been talking about them. And now if you get the right zoom in on the map, you can actually see all 3 of them. And unfortunately, the test was such a limited amount of time, and I even didn't get to play for the whole test. I really only got to play for like 45 minutes to an hour. I wasn't able to go check it out, but I have seen some screenshots that currently, at least in the test environment, a lot of the area and environment for these desert nodes has just been kind of like copy pasted from the Riverlands. So we'll have to see if these actually get updated and what their state is during phase 2. So fingers crossed that they have, you know, a little bit further progress on the test build and that it gets promoted up. And right now we're just maybe seeing a little bit of a rudimentary design, but it might not be all expanded desert. We'll have to see. And then, another thing I wanted to mention was I was definitely seeing more rarer resources from phase 1 spread out and around just the Riverlands in this test server. So I was seeing willow trees out and about, which leading up to the end of phase 1, the willow trees are very rare. You could run around for like 15 minutes and not even find a single one. So the fact that I found like 3 or 4 just running around on my own was super interesting. And pretty much the most exciting thing about the test, and really the main thing I wanted to talk about here in this little video, is the freeholds. So freeholds are in the test environment. They're online. There's a certain number placed in the world, so they are out in the overworld. You can run up and see them. They exist as giant plots. And I was able to kind of find a mountain and look out in the distance, and I was able to see a couple near Winstead. And upon like running up to them and checking them out, they're pretty big. They're still a little scuffed. There's like some texturing that's not really like colored correctly with the floor pieces, but it is pretty neat that they're in the game now. It looks like you can buy them once you're like a resident of a node or a village that reaches level 3, and from that point on there should be a way to purchase it. I originally thought it was going to be using node currency, but if we look at the notes here in a minute, it does look like you're going to be able to buy them for gold. So there is going to be sort of like a little gold rush here, in my opinion, or that I'm assuming, for people trying to like scoop these up. I'm sure guilds are going to go hard trying to get these because there's only a limited number of them, and I think they might only be in the Riverlands. We'll have to wait and see, but I believe it's only going to be in the Riverlands. There's a couple I was able to find. There's one that's just right outside the outskirts of Winstead, and then there's one nearby, but a little bit further up the mountain. And there's a really cool vantage spot because you have Parfin in the background. You have Citadel of Steelbloom in front of it. It's kind of on a mountain, so you have like the high ground. And there's goblins kind of nearby, so you could farm them if you wanted to and have like a nice little safe base near, just in between all these things. Like you're right in the middle of like a triangle of different things to do and head out, like landmarks and POIs. And this one also had a well, so it's a little bit different of a layout. And the the freehold layout is also different. The house is a little bit different. It's got kind of like these barn door style, like it looks like a Tetris block. It looks like that Tetris block that's like almost a plus sign. So I really liked this area and I really liked this spot. But yeah, and I did find a little typo with the well. And so I got to do a little bug report, do my part. That's pretty much it as far as like the things I was able to notice within this short time span, but I thought these were really cool and I did want to share them. Happy holidays if I don't catch you before Christmas. I should have a couple more videos coming out though. I'm working really hard to make sure I can still get these out to you guys. So actually, you can look forward to 2 more videos. I'm working on a caravan gold making guide, and I also want to give my final thoughts on phase 1. So I'm really trying to cram these in before phase 2, but that's like a video a night, so we will see what happens. Regardless, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great lead up to phase 2. Hope you have a great start. Hope you're jumping in with friends. Hope you're having a good time. Happy holidays. I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye-bye.